Hi everyone, it's Emma and welcome to our first live of 2024. It's Emma from Nurturing by Nature and I'm going to do a live today on unleashing the power of raw food, healthier meals for your pets. How can you improve their diets in some way? Even if you don't want to feed raw 100%, we can do a little something. So hopefully this will help you. So we're looking at foods that are good for dogs, how to feed a raw diet, how to start a raw diet, some small hints and tips, and some interactions to help us get what you need. So we're going to embark into a journey into raw feeding. I've got some food and some treats here to show you as well. So let's go and have a look and see what we can talk about. So firstly, at Nurturing by Nature, we understand that this is one of those weeks where you know how it is, finances are a bit tight, so we've done our very best to slash the prices for you this week. We've taken some cuts for you, so please on our website, if you follow the link on the system in my emails on Friday, Sunday, the link will be there. I think that if you go to the YouTube channel, this is going live as well, you'll find the link on there. This will be a good thing to go through to rather than later, because come Sunday it may well not be quite the same price. So we know that this is one of those months. January is pretty hard for everybody. We've just had Christmas, no one's got any money, so we've done our best to cap as many prices as we possibly can. So if you look online, we've just had Christmas, no one's got any money, so we've done our best to cap as many prices as we possibly can. So if you look online, so these are website only prices, so we can monitor it and make sure that we keep it all up to date for you. 500 gram chicken is running at 99 pence. You've got chicken and white fish at 175. Chicken and oily fish at 175. Chicken calamari, that sounds fancy. That's one of our new mixes that we've just introduced recently. That is 175. Ox liver, obviously that powerhouse. Chicken and ox liver. Ox liver is amazing for your pets. 199 at the moment. 500 gram chicken and lamb, 229. 500 gram chicken and lamb liver, 185. Chicken and lamb heart is £2.19. So this is limited availability, limited stock. There's a link in our YouTube. You'll see that. You'll also find a link on my email on Sunday. But if you want to take advantage of any of those, grab them whilst you can, because these are limited. So once we get to a certain amount of sales in each product, to make sure that the website doesn't sell out completely, we put the price back up to normal. But we've allocated a certain amount of each of these so that you can get that price to help you over this rocky period of time when finances are a bit down. Okay, so yeah, look at that. The link is all on there for you. And if you do like, this is for YouTube, if you do like the special offers and the information we bring you, please remember to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel and on Instagram, Facebook as well, if you possibly can. So this is all about starting off on a raw diet, a few introductions, a few tips for you as well. So I'll go over those for you. So we all want the best for our furry friends, but the truly the healthiest and most natural diet that we can advocate is a raw diet, because that's what we do at Nurturing by Nature. We make a raw diet, looking at how our pets deal with this, how they digest it, how much easier it is for them. But yeah, so hopefully you'll find it really interesting, and we should be able to cover some of those questions that you've been dying to ask. So if you think about the origins of pet food, the commercial pet food, it often used and still actually involves grain, as far as I know, and putting that into dog food or making a biscuit with it, and then people marketing it as dog food. Up until then, dogs were companion animals. We fed them scraps from the table. I told you all about how she just used to feed the dog's tripe, and we're kind of going back to that because we know that that is the best diet for your dog. So what have you noticed as well? So I'd like to know from you, what have you noticed since you started feeding a raw diet to your pets, or what have you heard from your friends, and why are you thinking about making that transition, or why you did make that transition? Because Nurturing by Nature's got a great community of raw feeders. We are based in Dorset in the UK. However, we do send our food all over the UK, and we reach out on our channels and on Instagram to people all over the world. So find out from your friends or share with us why you started feeding a raw diet to your pet, or what you've got question-wise that you would like to know. So our lovely community is so helpful. So if there's something that we can't answer and you put it on something like this, then someone will probably get back to you. So Nurturing by Nature started 20 years ago now, 2004. That was when Nurturing by Nature was born. It started from a simple desire. My mum, who was working in a veterinary practice at the time, had a lovely boxer dog, Fred, and he had these diets or healthier diet for him. She didn't believe the biscuits that the vet had prescribed as part of the diet really was working to help him, because he'd been looking into this now. Fred was actually named after Mum's dad. So although our pets are really precious to us, obviously Fred was extremely precious. So yeah, basically she just wanted to help him, and her passion for sharing these incredible results that she witnessed with feeding a raw diet to her dogs, she wanted to pass that on, and that's what she really wanted to do. She witnessed this in her own pets through raw feeding, and our mission at Nurturing by Nature is to encourage more people to embrace raw feeding and witness those effects for yourself, the positive impact that it can have on you and on your pet. So have you tried raw feeding? We'd love to hear of your journey. If you have, get in touch. It could even be a subject for another live or discussion. So do let us know. It's January. It's a new year, new you, new start, health kicks. We've all been there. So by January, sober October, new year, new you, hitting the gym now, making it serious. As humans, we understand the benefits of positive changes. And the same holds true for our pets. We understand the benefits of positive changes that we can make in their lives for them. A natural healthy diet has incredible benefits for your dog, for your pet. And a natural healthy diet, incredible benefits, even if they can't tell us directly, because we can see it. We can see the results visibly with them. It's amazing. 3 tips. So 3 tips to keep your pet healthy. Provide a balanced diet. Make sure your pet receives a well-balanced and nutritious diet suitable for their species, age, and health. This means feeding a variety of different proteins over time, feeding a variety of foods. If you're feeding a kibble or a canned food, you can add in other products to enrich their diets. Our diet of choice, of course, is a raw diet, but if you're not quite ready to take that step, but you could add a few raw items into what your pet is already eating. You could maybe blend some leafy green vegetables in, like spinach, and add that as a topper to their meals, or you could slice a couple of bits of your chicken dinner up before you cook it and put it on top of their food. So a little nutritional extra topper as a start and an introduction to a healthier diet for your pet. They need to have regular exercise. So just like humans, pets will benefit from regular exercise. This is a no-brainer. If you haven't taken your dog for a walk, most of the time, unless it's maybe a particularly lazy breed, you're going to know about it. They'll be turning around the house, zooming around the garden. They need to get out. They need to exercise. But you don't just have to do it by walking them. You can do interactive play sessions, toys on the lines like this. You can put little treats in a toy like this. This is one of the floaty toys that you can throw water and float. So these grooves in here, little poke little in, and they have to get it out. I mean, by toys, keeping your pet contributes to overall physical, mental, processed treats. So did you know? So this is one of our best sellers. This is our sprats. These are dried sprats. You get 150 grams in that bag, and that's all they are. Little fish which have been dried. They're really, really popular. Cats and dogs also like these. It's not just for dogs. Cats will eat these too. And these are the dried sprats. They are amazing because although they smell fishy, that's just how it is. They are fish. There's nothing hiding the fact that these are fish here. They smell fishy, but just adding a few of these into your treat bag and giving these out to your pet will add in omega-3 oils to your pet's diet. It will also add in an additional 12 vitamins and 10 minerals, and that can be found in this treat alone. I haven't got the list of them in front of me, but I think that's an incredibly huge amount of goodness packed into one tiny little fish. So if you're thinking about a natural treat, this is a really good one to start with. Also, we do things like the rabbit ears. These are nice and healthy. Hairy rabbit ears, these ones, that sort of thing. Natural treats, minimally processed. You can see that is a rabbit ear. There's no lying when you take that home to your pet. You'll know what you're buying and you can see it exactly. And that's where our packaging is nice and clear so you can see what you're getting. So those are 3 tips. Provide a balanced diet, regular exercise, and choose nice healthy treats. What healthy habits have you adopted recently? Just let us know in the comments. We'd love to know. So this is all about nurturing by nature, obviously, in the raw diet, but this is how everything happened with Fred. So 20 years ago, in 2004, Nettie, who is my mum, started nurturing by nature. She faced a health scare with Fred, and he was our family boxer dog. You might have seen him on some of the literature. Big red boxer dog, beautiful boy. He was huge, full of life, full of happiness. He was really bouncy. And she was working in a vet's at the time. She was looking into food. She crafted a raw diet after his cancer diagnosis for the second time, and that's 20 years ago, and that's really going against the norm. So kudos to Mum. She really stuck her neck out there and did everything. She did everything that she could to help him, and it did work actually. Fred actually lived on an extra 6 years after his cancer. So, and it didn't. He went into remission. He didn't have cancer when he died, which is incredible. His results were outstanding. His health visibly improved. The pets that she had as well, and she fed it to, improved. She could see small things, less farting, cleaner teeth, even a noticeable behavior change in some of the dogs that she had, because they're less highly strung and they just relax a lot more on a raw diet. And if she had carried on with what the vets had prescribed, which was like a grain-based diet, which was just making Fred miserable as well. He really hated it. If she hadn't been brave and gone for it, she wouldn't have had him that much longer. And so be grateful for Mum for taking that to go into a raw diet. And then she realised how good it was. Her other dogs and cats thrived on it. She fed it to the neighbours' animals, then her friends, and then she had to deliver it. And eventually that's why she opened up the shop in Westmoors, and that's our store that we've still got today. And that was in 2006. So 2 years later, she had her store. So that's 18 years old, that store. And that is amazing because we think that's probably one of the first raw food stores in the country as well. So as we continue the session, let's go into the specifics of raw feeding. We're going to go over a few of the biological benefits, common misconceptions, and tips for transitioning your pets to a raw diet. So biological benefits. Those of you feeding a raw diet will know all of this anyway, but nutrient bioavailability. Raw diets often contain whole or minimally processed ingredients that retain their natural nutrients. Like this chicken carcass here. That's just a chicken carcass. It's really meaty. You can see how lovely and meaty that is. That is a bony meal for your dog. So that is natural nutrition with increased bioavailability of essential nutrients, vitamins and minerals. And a raw diet allows for better absorption in your pet's digestive system, and that will contribute to overall health, energy and vitality. Improved dental health. So feeding bones helps to clean their teeth. It really does helps to clean off the plaque and tartar buildup that builds up on these teeth at the back, and then helps to clean and scrape the pointy teeth at the front. Gnawing helps to reduce the plaque and tartar buildup and promotes healthier teeth because they're getting a massage from their meals. And additionally, the enzymes present in the raw food, not to mention the flesh in the gut, there's no fermented, smelly food sitting in there, and they're not burping that up at you. So, improved dental health and then digestive health, feeding variety over time, balancing proteins, fats, and fibers out, positively influencing the gut composition of the bacteria biome the gut. So it helps grow the beneficial bacteria that then helps to digest the food, much like as we feed the seaweed with the food, that helps to grow that too. So that's an additional booster for your pet's food, which is the Neptune's Yard fermented seaweed. So digestive health, balanced microbiome. So well-balanced microbiome is associated with improved digestion, nutrient absorption, and a stronger immune system. And alongside the digestive health, because the raw diet is so much easier for the pets to digest, they get to rest. Their tummy knows what to do and processes it nice and easily, and then they can rest. So there's no grains that are really hard for them to digest, as they can't break down cellulose. They can't break it down, so it makes it much harder for their tummies to break it down. Okay, so common misconceptions. This is something that we are asked at Nurturing by Nature all the time. What about this? What about that? So 3 of these. We've got risk of bacterial contamination. So loads of people worry about potential for bacterial contamination with a raw diet. Things like salmonella, E. coli in the raw food, which could pose a potential health risk to the humans feeding the dogs and to the pets. But in reality, whilst there is a risk with any raw food that you have in your home, not just for your pets, the stuff that you will use for yourself as well, not only meat, we're talking about vegetables and how that's put up as well, anything along those lines. You must make sure you correctly handle the raw meat and practice good hygiene in your home. The chances of bacterial contamination is absolutely minimal. You follow guidelines for food safe handling and sourcing high quality raw ingredients like we do, because we send as a DEFRA registered, APHA registered and a licensed company to be able to produce this food. Part of our license is to be able to send it off for bacterial testing, and minimal results come back. We look after our food so well, and it's got timelines on it. We keep an eye on it, so you don't need to worry about that. Another misconception, incomplete nutrition. So some believe that a raw diet is going to lack essential nutrients, leading to nutrition imbalances or deficiencies in your pets. But in reality, a well-planned and properly formulated raw diet can provide complete and balanced nutrition for your pets. You can consult with a veterinarian or a professional. Will always come and help you to have beef, basically. But you do need a third misconception is an increased risk of choking or obstruction. So there's a concern that feeding a raw pet a diet, including things like bones, is going to cause your pet to choke on their food. Well, only if your dog is not experienced in what they're doing and they wolf their food down and they feel under pressure. Your dog shouldn't really do that. It should be absolutely fine. When fed appropriately, raw bones are safe and a really beneficial part of a raw diet. This is a lamb rib. We sell loads of these. We do smaller ones, which are riblets. We do other bones as well, but this is one of our really popular bones. So you see how much meat and fat is on there. And fat is also good for them, so you don't need to worry about that. There's loads of meat on there, so don't be put off by bones. Just introduce them over time, and we'll always help you with that. We can watch that we've done in the past on how to do that. So if you're not happy with feeding a raw bone, you can feed the minces like this one here. We do them in 2 sizes. We have a 500-gram mince, which is this one. This is a chicken and beef tripe. Or we do the little ones as well, which is a 200-gram portion. So if you've got a smaller dog, these have got chicken bone in as well. So they've got bits of bone in, so you don't need to worry necessarily about feeding extra bone if you don't want to. But the bones are so beneficial. If you can get around to feeding a bone in your dog's raw diet, they will love it and you will see the benefits for sure. So those are the 3 things that people are mostly worried about: with bacterial contamination, incomplete nutrition, and increased risk of choking or obstruction with bones. So the next part is to 3 tips for you to transition your pets onto a raw diet. So we'll start off by introducing different meats. We usually start off with the chicken because it's really easy and appropriate for your dog or cat to eat. Chicken is an absolutely appropriate meat because they could easily catch, kill and eat a chicken. Rabbit would be another one that they could easily get hold of. But chicken is a lot easier in this country for us to get hold of, so that's why we start you off on chicken. This is one of our chicken minces here. This is one of the ones we start you off. This is actually a defrosted packet, so I can show you what it looks like. And I'll do that now. So generally, we'd recommend you take the meat out before it's defrosted because you end up with it sticking to the packet. And that's always a good tip, but I'll just take a portion of that out so you can have a look and see what you think to it. And this is it. So you can wear gloves if you want to. I've got them here. I'm not worried about bacterial contamination. I'm not going to eat it myself, but I am going to show you what it's like. It is a tiny bug because it came out of the freezer, but that is our amazing chicken. And there is bone there, okay, but it's minimal, and you can see pieces of this white stuff. It's like the skin here, but they can just the plain chicken. You can add some vegetables if you want to. You don't have to add vegetables in their food, but it's a good way of adding in extra vitamins and minerals. And a really easy way is by taking a bag of salad, putting it in the freezer, scrunching it up and adding it to their food. So we start by incorporating potentially small amounts of a raw diet. Something like that mince, you do a couple of portions of it. Those 500-gram portions can be really broken down into lots of smaller portions. So you could turn that into 10 little balls of meat. You can freeze it and take one out at a time. You can introduce it as a topper in food, or just feed it, put raw with, in home. Keep an eye on the first reactions. You can increase the amount of raw food that they have over the course of several days, or you can go cold turkey and you can go 100% in on a raw diet. And some people do that for medical reasons because they've got to a point where they really need to change their pet's diet really, really quickly. So you can do it 2 ways, and we'll help you anyway at Nurturing by Nature, however you want to do it. But we can do that at a time, or you can do it straight away. You could use a partial raw diet if you wanted to feed that, if you didn't feel happy about feeding a fully raw diet for your pet. So you can progress to a partial raw diet by replacing a portion of your pet's food with a raw alternative. This might involve serving one meal fully raw and keeping another meal in their usual format. You're going to reduce the normal amount of food that they have down to half if that's what you're doing, because you don't want to feed them too much. So you need to balance it out and feed them the appropriate amount then. And then monitor your pet's digestion, energy levels, overall well-being, pets poop when they're on a raw diet. It's a huge noticeable difference. You will see it, I promise. Or you can do a full transition across. So once your pet is successfully adjusted to eating a small amount of the raw diet, you gradually transition them across to a free raw diet, replace all their old food with appropriate raw foods, monitor them again, keep an eye on them. Sometimes it's good to keep a diary, make a note of when you started, even if you know what you're feeding, make a note of the different meals you're feeding. That's really handy to refer back to potentially. Note down any changes in their health, their behaviour, their poo. And if needed, you can change it around to give them the right ratios that suit them. So 3 different ways that you can transition your pets through. So introducing it slowly, partial raw diet, half and half, or then a full transition across. So some people have asked about 80-10-10. 80-10-10 is basically 80% meat, 10% bone, 10% offal, which 5 should be liver. If you feed a variety over time, you should achieve that. We don't feed 80-10-10 or a complete in a meal because we feed it over time. So feeding 80-10-10 it's sort of moved on a bit now. That doesn't get spoken about quite as much. That they would be referring to a rabbit. If your pet was to catch, kill a whole rabbit, 80% is that meat, 10% of that carcass is bone, and 10% would be offal. So that's the 80-10-10 refers to. So hopefully you found some of this interesting. We'd love to get some feedback on you. Don't forget to like and subscribe. That's really going to help us on our journey on this platform as well. And we can then bring you more interesting content that you'll be interested in. Let me run through some of the things I've got in front of you so you can see what I've got. So we've got the raw food. This is the raw chicken. Our chicken is really meaty. There is bone in there. You can see there's different elements. You can see there's pieces of meat in there. You've got some sort of organ there, which is probably a tiny amount of the liver, potentially where it's attached within the bird. So there's nice meaty chicken for a starter meal. You can spread that onto something like this, which is a licky mat. That makes it a bit more interactive. So before I mentioned about having an interactive toy, you can also spread the raw food on a licky mat. You can use this with peanut butter or pate as well. Gives them something a bit more enriching and interesting to look at. We talked about feeding natural treats as much as you can. These are the dried sprats. These are some of our most popular treats and they're amazing. And you get a massive amount for $4.99, 150 grams in there. And what I like about this bag is it seals itself, so you can clip it shut again and keep all the fishiness inside. They are fishy, they do smell, but don't forget they've got an amazing amount of goodness in there. I think it was 12, where is my name? Yeah, so I think there's 12 amounts of vitamins and 10 minerals in that. So why not give those a go if you're thinking about trying a new treat for your pet? So we've got some bones and some fish. So these are sardines, a bit bigger than sprats. Sprats generally around about that sort of size. These are sardines. Again, a really nice oily fish. So your pet will really benefit from those. And then you've got a tasty lamb rib. This is a really great meaty treat as part of their meal to help to clean their teeth. So they'll really enjoy eating the meat off of here. They'll eat the fat. And they'll probably eat all of that bone, depending on the size of their dog. But that is a really good part of your meal. Then you would balance this out. So if you find that's too bony for them, balance it out with a bone-free meal, such as like white fish, or a bone-free meal like the venison that we've got. That would also work, and that would help balance out the bone within that meal. And that's what we're talking about, feeding a variety over time, balancing out to suit your pet on what they've been eating. So hopefully you found some of that information useful today, and we'll be back next week with another live. Thank you so much for joining me, and enjoy the rest of your weekend. Don't forget our stores are open if you're local to us. So we are based in Dorset. We've got 4 stores. We've got Upton, which is where I'm based at the moment. That's open tomorrow from 9 o'clock now, 9 till 1. Our Westmoor store is open Saturday and Sunday. Usual opening hours, Saturday 9 till 5, Sunday 10 till 4. Same with our Pamp Hill and our Christchurch stores as well. So they're open all weekend. It's just Upton that's only open on a Sunday. But come and see us. We'd love to meet you. If you're thinking about joining us on your raw diet and raw journey, we would love to help you. And we're a friendly bunch of people. We've got lovely people in the office, lovely people in the shop. So we'll always help you if we can. Take it easy. Thank you ever so much for joining me.